our Tuesday morning, time to check in with Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch for our weekly City Hall update. Can you feel the love, Mayor?
They do. You and I remember Linda Ronstadt. The younger folks certainly don't.
That's true. I remember her when she was with the Stone Ponies in the 60s. But we don't get any older. That's amazing.
That's right. That's exactly right.
How are you this morning?
Doing fine, thanks. Another beautiful morning.
Really is gorgeous, isn't it?
We'll take it.
I was reading the Quincy Historical Society's history of the city. In 1940, there was a Valentine's Day blizzard on this date.
Wow.
12-foot snow drifts, and the city treasurer estimated the cleanup costs that year at about $35,000.
Jeez. We couldn't handle flurries with that.
Honestly, that might salt one street.
Different times.
Yeah.
I tell you, that publication, they do a nice job with the historical. I think Wayne Miller works hard on that with Ed and Jim. And remind people out there, it's a great resource. Quincy Historical Society. Stop by and see it someday.
They are amazing folks, and they're working on a second edition too of this book. So I'm looking forward to that. But I read out of this every single morning for our listeners. I love it.
Awesome.
Eric, we talk a little bit about the city council meeting last night. And
do we have to?
Yes, we do.
I wasn't there, so I'm just gonna...
I understand. Your representative, of course, attends every meeting. And the Ordinance Committee have once again discussed the Quarry Hills lease extension proposal. And I guess, has the whole lease been reworked now, the proposed lease?
I think there's been probably some modifications and updates to it. I don't think it's vastly different, but probably been updated, sure.
Some of the questions that were raised include, will Quarry Hills live up to its original lease promise to install a recreational complex up at that site?
Well, that recreational complex is the 4 ball fields and the large soccer field. That was the agreement. That's what was accepted.
Okay, so you're saying that has been fulfilled?
Yeah, indeed. I haven't heard that issue come up. I mean, the reality was in the lease things were banged out, and it was included those ball fields and the big soccer field that's up there, and they all get a lot of use. So first I heard questioning that fulfillment.
Okay, I think a swimming pool was mentioned originally too, but for whatever reason that did not come to fruition.
I don't remember the pool discussions, but maybe some others would remember it. I don't recall that one.
Okay. And also questions raised about the new revenue agreement with the city. Has that changed at all?
I think we have a very healthy revenue agreement. I'd like to remind people that was a major landfill for the city for many years. It had been closed by the time Quarry Hills came along. But the city used to put out probably $200,000 a year and just pumping out the leachate system, as well as cutting everything a couple times a year. You couldn't have anything growing up there because the trees and things grew, would puncture the cap and become a problem. So there was a management agreement up there with DPW that had to be taken care of and was costing us about a couple $100,000 a year. So we took what was and people I think forget this, how complicated this project was. It's easy to look back and be critical, but it was a massive, complicated project, including several state, federal agencies, as well as city agencies. And we took what was a dump. There'd be no reason to be up there unless you were a rat, a snake, or maybe a coyote, and made an incredible, beautiful spot where, thousands of people enjoy it every year, whether you're playing golf or using the ball fields that we just described. It's magnificent, and we get a revenue from it. And I'd also suggest that those apartments that grew up around it probably wouldn't be there if it was still just a landfill. So it was a huge, in my view, economic benefit to the city, as well as a beautiful piece of open space that now everyone can enjoy. Even if you're not a golfer, you can go up there and I think they call it the Nines, Crossing Nines, I guess. The sunsets up there are magnificent. Go up and grab a burger and just sit and watch the sunset. So, it's a fantastic facility. It provides tremendous opportunities for people to enjoy that area, and it provides a lot of revenue to the city each and every year. So it's we have no cost sharing or anything with that. That thing was built with all of their money as well as money they got for the big dig. There was no city money involved in that at all. So it's been a big win for the city. Why change the formula?
Do you think there needs to be some type of a process where there can be some accountability to make sure that Corey Hills is living up to the lease agreement?
Yeah, I mean, periodically, every few years, we have an audit done. So, in fact, I think we're in the process of one now, and that's what we trust to make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. So, I expect that audit to be done sometime early spring, and we'll find out if there's any issues. But in the past, they have not been.
Okay, it remains in the ordinance committee for further review. Is there a timeline for when a decision needs to be made?
No, I know that the council wanted more time, so there was no hurrying it. We'll grant them some more time and make sure all their questions get answered, and then take the vote.
Okay, very good. Also, last night, a couple of resolves introduced. One, an update on the purchase of that 6 to 10 McGrath Highway building that we had talked about earlier. I guess some questions raised about where the financing for that came from.
Sure. Yeah, we can. We'll definitely fill them in on that and address those issues. Be happy to do that.
And further one on just total financial policies, I guess, of the city, and whether or not those need to be updated given the pandemic that we just lived through, and does that change the financial status of the city?
I'm not really sure how that question emanates, but we have probably hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of financial policies when you break it down. Probably almost like a book size for that purpose. We're glad to share that with the city council, and periodically as we update them internally. There are some policies that have been voted on by the council as well over the years, but I think we've got a extremely professional municipal finance department, some great talent there now. I think we're doing extremely well in our financial policy area. And I know that just like we mentioned the audit done of Granite Lakes, the city's audited every year. And we've had good results working with Powers and Sullivan, and making sure we have our house in order. I mean, at the end of the day, as any mayor knows, Joe, if the financial house isn't in order, you can't do much else. So I'm proud to say we're in a good place.
Is the fiscal 24 budget process underway?
Not yet.
Okay.
Actually, I'm sure it is internally with municipal finance. I'm sure they get ready. But that's something we'll talk with my department heads over the next couple of weeks, probably early March.
Okay. Finally, Mayor, we should remind folks, Winterfest is coming up.
Winterfest indeed, although it may feel like Springfest, the way the long-term weather looks.
It does. The forecast is for partly sunny 50 degrees on Monday. So
But take it for sure.
that could change, certainly, but
it's just another opportunity to provide activities for families. I know with full vacation week and people look for things to do. We have the City of Presidents, and we must take advantage of that opportunity at the Hancock Adams Common, and hopefully people will avail themselves and enjoy it.
Yeah, it should be a great day. It's all free. There's going to be, I understand, laser light shows, fire dancers, live music, fun for all.
Fun for all, indeed. Enjoy.
The ice sculptures might be a little drippy.
Oh, well. I can live with it.
Exactly, yeah. It'll just be a little smaller, that's all. Anything else we should let folks know about today, Mayor?
Yeah, I don't think so. No, I think we're good.
Wish you a happy Valentine's Day.
Yes, to all your listeners, viewers, however you describe them.
Well, it's both. They can listen live online or on TV.
There we go. I hope everyone has a good one. It's a nice day to remind everyone, don't forget your loved ones. Take good care of them today.
Absolutely. Flowers and candy never go out of style.
That's right.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye-bye.